What inspired you to start Delight in Him? The conversions that it has done to people. I've learned about Aubrey, the guy that I'd like to meet.
Okay.
Yes. And if I want to share my faith, I should just start.
Yeah. 12 different lives in different locations which I do not know of, and it's for a good cause. Yeah, that really motivates you to work hard.
It feels nice. I'm actually pleased,
Okay.
I've never done this, and it's going to be my first time.
Hello, Delight family. I'm your friend once more, and brother Daliso Ondya, and today I'm joined by a friend. What's your name?
Mwai Ondya.
Actually, Mwai Ondya is my little sister, and we're going to talk about something that, for some time we've been thinking about, that people should get to know more about what to do about delighting Him. So, as you all know, Delighting Him is a faith-based content channel where we talk about creating content that is character-filled, where we use things like children, sermons, songs, and the many other things that when you go to our channel you will find. And today Mwai has prepared a set of questions that she's going to be asking me, and I'll be able to respond. So as I respond to Mwai, you too can know more about what we do at Delight in Him. And so Mwai, how are you once more?
I'm fine. How are you, Daliso?
How does it feel for the very first time in your life to get in Delight in Him?
It feels nice. I'm actually pleased, I've
Okay.
never done this, and it's going to be my first time. So I want you guys to be your first time to watch the whole video, start it and finish it, because you don't know what the end of it will do to you.
Thank you. So yes, you have prepared quite a number of questions for me. Yes.
Yes. So the first question is, what inspired you to start Delight in Him?
Wow. So Delight in Him, when I was in college, there's one verse that was speaking to me, and that was Psalms 37, where we get this verse: delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. So when I came out of school, there was a time I really had some challenges. Though after school, I'm sure you know your story. It's not for you now. So as my custom has been, I'm mostly with children. So once shared to my friend, I'm thinking of starting a channel that will just be, just for children, because there's little content that is there for children. So the guy was like, no, actually, I know you're not working. There's nothing busy that is keeping you now. So I'm sure you're just daydreaming. Have you really thought about it? So yeah, it took me time to realize that actually I was still in the right path. So years later, I was inspired to create a faith-based content channel called Delight in Him. And the primary audience that I really thought of was no one but children, because I had time, I had good time connecting with them. When I go for my church services, most of my ministry was just children. So that's how come my primary focus when I was starting was just children. But to add on, later on, as I grew, I noticed there were different things that are happening, and you need to meet those needs, such as children, such as elderly people. So I didn't even create much of a content for children, though in future I plan to maybe work along with children, so that we can see how that can come to reality. So that's what inspired me just to start, not really like one has been moving on. So I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Now I want to know, what does Delight in Him personally mean to you?
Delight in Him. Well, in the first place, it was more like, just be happy in Him, like be happy in God,
Yes.
But later on, I realized that there's more to delight in Him, which is more, I've used some English which is seemingly odd. You should learn to be pliable. You should learn to be someone who can be molded into the character of Christ. And it is as you only do that, that you can feel real joy and real delight in the Lord. That's what delighting in Him means to me. So I am at producing each and every content that will drive people back to God, and in as much as that is happening, they will still find that the real meaning, our real purpose here on earth is connected to pleasing God in whatever line of work that we do. So it's all about delighting in Him, being happy only in the Lord. And that may take a lot of work, but that's part of my understanding as of now. I hope that wasn't so mouthful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daliso. You said that your focus is on children. What do you hope for children to feel when they watch your videos?
So my focus really was on children back then when I just started. That was more like the motivating factor. So I should actually mention that I first started with a YouTube channel, rather a Facebook page. So after I created my Facebook page, then I was like, oh, you know what? I think I should also create a YouTube channel bearing the sister names. Both of brother should bear the same name. So I created a YouTube channel, and later on, my focus has not so much been to children, but rather it's more of a broad spectrum. So I just wanted to produce lessons throughout. That was my thoughts, just for children, and that's all. But as I started creating other content and sharing other content online, I realized people love music. Actually, my retention to the channel slightly grew because right now I have precious 300 subscribers. So that's not a small number. Just for one person to be committed to whatever cause that you have, I want to say thank you, and the many others that will watch this, and those many others that are going to subscribe to this channel. So I discovered that people love music. There are others who just come to the channel to just watch music, and there's others that would want to watch contents like sermons and taking heads videos like this. So the main plan is in future I am doing thematic content. So by that I mean there's one content actually there's one series that we did just right here with a friend of mine here where we are seated. What a coincidence. And we did a series with Joel Mazuba. We talked about quite a number of things, but it was a 3-part series. So I'm looking forward to creating such content. I've already spoken to some people here and there, and others are already waiting. And the many other things that I've planned, I plan to cooperate with a colleague of mine so that the many others that would want to find something to read offline could also be reading. So we have quite a number of plans for the channel, and I hope I'm answering.
You are answering. I want to know how you choose the songs that inspire people to have a lot of viewers, how you choose those lessons, the interesting topics. Are there any tactics that you use?
Oh yeah, so you have to be deliberate to some extent on when to post. There has been times when I create a content now and I try. What that means is so YouTube has got that still applies to partly Facebook. So with Facebook you can schedule something when you want it to come out. I look at trends. So what I mean is I could upload a video, then I only want it to appear at a certain time. Or rather I would upload a video and no one is able to access it except me, and I'll be able to publish it at that same time. So what I look at is sometimes people like to talk about things that are trending. Like for example, there are health related matters in October where you talk about breast cancer. So then in my head, as much as I may produce some health related content, since people's minds are already tuned to health in that month, I would then, as much as I create content, let me prime that month. So I look at what is trending, and sometimes it's just the Holy Spirit, like you really kept this video you uploaded, and let me just upload. Then within a short period of time, you see, 12 people have viewed your videos. Oh, okay, it has 12 different lives in different locations, which I do not know of, and it's for a good cause. Yeah, that really motivates you to work hard. So that's how it has been, and I'm hoping to grow more even in this area.
I would like you to share your story to the viewers when one of your videos touched them and it really inspired them and they thought of sharing it to you and to others.
Well, there's a video we did. Can I add another one? Just instead of one, but just two?
No. No, I want one, the most interesting one.
The most interesting one?
Yes.
Well, my highlight for last year was with Aubrey Matende. So Aubrey is this computer genius who I would encourage, if you've never watched any of my videos, I would also encourage you to start with that one. But we talked about technology with Aubrey. His story was quite inspiring, and here's the thing. So Aubrey does well with his school, gets good points, gets into one of the esteemed universities here in our country, Copperfield University. And there he makes very good points. Back home, the mother knows that Aubrey is going to become a medical doctor. Now, Aubrey is a guy who, when he's at home, he's very good with AY. He manages to organize the organization where he was at the district, materials from hard copy into soft copy. And the district coordinators are happy with Aubrey. He's a guy whom, when the family has got any problem with the remote and everything, they run to him. So when he's going to school, his love for computers also grows. So it is at the point when he's made his points, he wants to go and do medicine. He decides, you know what, I won't do medicine, I'll do computer science. So he does get good points, but he decides to go for computer science. And up to now he's a computer scientist. In the morning I was talking to him, and well, not that I'm running away from that. So we talked about Mentor, one of the platforms in AY, called an app which we developed called Mentor, where you can take master guide lessons and also questions. And today in the morning, he actually privately told me that yesterday he finished working on the Mentor, so it's going to be out in the public, meaning that will be more like another version besides the one that people are using on their iPhones and their Android phones. But Aubrey told the parents that he failed to make it for medicine, but rather the school could only admit him for computer science. So it was more like a bitter pill for the parents to swallow, because they are hoping it's going to be a doctor, you know, medicine, the pride it carries. So it was quite disappointing, but it's one of those things which provide you to say, no, you should learn to follow your heart. And Aubrey's vision is beyond himself. I mean, the mentor that we're talking about is something that is spiritual and has influenced quite a number of people. And he talks about the many apps that he has developed and others which were private, which he could not talk about. So I feel like that was one of the highlights that was one of the highlights in the videos. Yeah, in that group created. So look out for that video.
I will, and I would love to meet Aubrey.
Oh, you'd love to meet Aubrey?
Yes, I'd love to meet Aubrey.
You'll be happy to
I'll be happy to interview him, ask him about the application.
The application that he has
Yes.
developed. Yeah, he's one guy I know is very good with tech. When he looks at our ACM, I think we can try to do this, and he's always trying to improve on something to do with tech. So that's one of the videos I would talk about. Yeah, since you said one, so that's one of them.
Yes. Thank you, Daliso. What's the biggest challenge you're facing while running in the channel Delighting Him?
Delighting Him. Well, challenges are meant to prepare you for something bigger. One top of a mountain is the base of another. So right at the beginning, I was thinking I need a phone to start. Then I had a phone, so I started. I was using a Samsung A2. Etuco. Then I changed to another phone. I think then there was another Samsung phone that I used until when I gathered up some money, I organized for a Pixel 5a. So most of my shootings, all of my shootings, were by Samsung 5a, and uploading was through Samsung, through rather Google Pixel 5a. When my phone was down, then I changed. I managed to buy another phone, Pixel 4a, which last year, prior to my birthday, just the night before my birthday, it was stolen. So I'd say technology is one of those things that, in terms of the gadgets that I use, is one of the challenges I do have, where you need, for example, editing on your phone, especially now that I'm using an Infinix, which is a good phone. I'm happy I do have a phone, but sometimes the lag is different. So sometimes I do use your lately, like today I just posted a phone. I edited with the phone. She has an iPhone 14. The ease when you're editing is quite good. Even when you're capturing videos, the quality of the videos is something that you would enjoy. Unlike when you're using the Infinix, you would not appreciate it as much. I'm not saying I've not uploaded some videos with the Infinix. I have, but technology, number one, is one of the challenges that I have. Other than that, sometimes it's the issue of organizing people. You have to organize people, and sometimes they also have their busy schedules, which you cannot force them to jump onto your schedule. So sometimes you do plan in advance, but life happens. So organizing people, and sometimes even organizing these lessons, sometimes it's also not easy because you have to do a lot of research. And I'm glad God, through His own ways, He's kept me up and running. So mostly it's the technology part. I do not have a camera. I use just my phone, hoping in future I could use a better phone, a better camera, and good editing skills. Even when it comes to my PC, I do have a PC, but I do not edit from there because the PC is not good with the software issues. It's a small PC, good for just daily activities. So yeah, those are some of the challenges, and sometimes it's the kind of content you are trying to upload. You want it to be something universal. It's not that you want to produce any good thing that may be exciting. So sometimes I do have hard time to choose. Is it something that can be consumed by someone who really wants to have that character developed? Yeah. So there sometimes it could be a struggle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So technology, organizing people, and the content itself. Sometimes it could be a challenge, but God through His own ways helps me to swim.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, I've hit the challenges, but what keeps you motivated to keep on creating content?
In my Christian journey, one of the things that has helped me is when I was at home, I think back then you would not realize it. We had satellite dish. That satellite dish, there was a channel called 3APN. 3APN had good programs. I don't know, I was so fond of watching it. One of the men I was watching, Pastor Taj Paklev, he would come and he was young, but I would get motivated, someone young doing the work of the Lord. I was motivated. So when I look at him, it's quite an influence to my journey as well. Another person who I later on discovered was Taj. I don't know how I came across his channel on YouTube. I would watch his short clips. It was so inspiring to me. Some of the which I downloaded and unfortunately I lost. And so that's one of the inspirations that I got. Then there was also his colleague Jasper. Jasper does work with Taj time and again. So when I look at his work, it's quite inspiring because you would not even tell he's a pastor. So that's inspiring. So the number one inspiration is the old videos, some of which were uploaded say 12 years ago. When I watch them today, I'm just amazed. Oh, there's such a thing happened, or rather, so there's such a thing that was uploaded that say 12 years ago or whatsoever years ago, and today it's impacting a life of mine. Even if there's one viewer today, years from now, there will be someone somewhere outside the outskirts of wherever I'm staying that will be able to enjoy the content that I create. So that's one of my number one motivating factor to say sometimes I can upload a video and I only have a single view or no view. Later on, there will be people who will be able to appreciate, because some of the videos that have also impacted me, or rather have influenced me in some ways. When I look at the views, maybe 175 or 75, there are few views on those videos, and I mean that also motivates me as someone who works with content creation. So there'll be people who may look specifically for my video. So those are some of the moments that make me realize, say, oh, actually I'm not doing this for just anything, say money or so. There will be someone who may be influenced out of videos that I'm doing. Yeah.
I have the last question for you.
Okay, last one. Yes, keep it coming. Let it come.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to share his or her faith online?
His or her faith online? Well, just that. They say it is in water where we learn how to swim. Trust me, there are times I feel like quitting it because of the phone that I'm using. I mean, at some point I was using a phone that has buttons and it's hard to go online. You barely go online. It's nearly impossible to go online. And I thought of quitting. My email addresses that I was using to access this same YouTube account was actually changed time and again. So in real time, I'm changing my password to the guys that had stolen my phone, because when they stole my phone, it was still unlocked. I was on a call. The guys on there that stole my phone were changing the password. I'm equally changing the password. I changed the number for reference. Even them, they changed the other side on the number. It was a battle, but thank God I won. That's how come I've continued to see this content. The advice that I would still give is just start. Just start. And as you start, along the way, you will find people who will encourage you, people who may come in and support you. And support doesn't always mean money. Most of us want to be supported by money. There are times, there's a video I did with a certain father from Pauline, who was once a drunkard and converted out of preaching at a crusade. And we captured that. It was one of my early videos that I did some good years ago. And that video was watched by someone else. Now imagine the impact that it has left to people who could not have heard about that story. The impact is quite huge. So if you want to start, just start. Don't wait for a bigger motivation. Just do what you can now, while God will do the way. There's a famous saying that if it's God's will, God's will. Yeah, so I do believe in that, and just start. I mean, there's a lot of bad content all over there, so the fact that you just contribute even a 1% of good content that people can watch, I mean, that's also motivating enough to just start and do something that is positive, that is not harming anyone. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I've learned a lot about Delight in him.
Okay.
I hope even you, the viewers, have learned a lot.
What have you learned?
I've learned how you started Delight in him.
Okay.
How it inspired you. Why you focus on the conversions that it has done to people. You know, I've learned about Aubrey, the guy that I'd like to meet.
Okay.
Yes. And if I want to share my faith, I should just start.
Yeah. Don't wait for a big moment. Just start when you can start. I'm glad you've learned a thing or two. And I hope the people that will watch it would have also learned something.